Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. I wanted to share with you guys another download I got, yes, again, about the Three-Eye Atlas. I did put out a video just a little while ago when I got woken up at about 2:30 in the morning and how it was saying that the next celestial event will bring in the union. So remember in that video, I was like November 3rd, the next celestial event. I always seem to get things in snippets, so I'm so sorry about like putting out like part two, but this is actually a part two for that download. So December 29th is actually the day when we're going to activate the codes that are coming down from the sun as the Three-Eye Atlas crosses the sun. It will be at its closest place to the sun. And then in that way, it's going to shower codes of Leo and the sun down onto Earth to activate the dormant codes that are located in the grid lines. So that is, it's not November 3rd. November 3rd is a very important day as well. November 3rd is when we are going to anchor it. It's the same process as what we did for the Divine Feminine. And I wasn't really in tune for that, but that's, the dates didn't match, but I did do an activation for the Divine Masculine and then an anchoring as well. So that's what's going to happen. And then I did research, right? And what it is in October 29th. I hope I didn't say December 29th. It is October 29th. Leo and the sun. So I'm trying to get my words correctly. Sometimes it's really hard to put what I get into actual words. So I hope I do this properly for you guys. So Leo, I'm going to pull up the Leo. I did write things down, so I'm just going to read it to you guys. So on October 29th, it comes closest to the sun. And so what I've always said was that as it's crossing these planets, like it crossed Mars and all the codes for the activation for the masculine came on, there was so much charge of all the things of Mars, all the things of Aries, because it was also aligned with the full moon in Aries. So as it crosses these planets, it's going to activate the codes within the grid lines that are similar to the characteristics of these planets and its astrological sign. So the sun, if you think of the sun, right? This is so beautiful. I can't wait to tell you guys. So if you think of the sun, look at the sun in your mind and you see fire. You see heat. That's very masculine, right? But then look beyond that. The sun is for, I'm getting goosebumps. The sun is for warmth. It is for growing plants. It is for sunlight. It is for magnetism. It is for radiation in a good way. So it's so our plants can photosynthesize their own food. What is that? That is feminine, right? So in that way, the sun is masculine and feminine. And then I did research, and sure enough, that is exactly what it is. And in one of the last videos that we did on one of the group tarot pulls, I was saying to Jerry, I was like, there's something about fire and water, right? Fire and water keeps coming up for me. And so the fire is the sun, is the masculine, but the sun is also feminine. And then the water, Lemuria. The water in Lemuria, they knew that the sun and the fire and the water were closely balanced. So we are going to go back to that time. We are going to activate the codes of the Lemurian codes of divine union. And then I was talking to Bree this morning, and I went to her Patreon. What is it called? She has a Patreon, Readings with Bree. and it is lovely. I just spent some time with her there, and some of our soul crew went there, and it was such a lovely morning. But we were talking, and oh, I just lost my thought. The codes of the water. Anyways, I lost my thought. It'll come back to me. So as it crosses these planets, all these divine codes come in and activates what's dormant in the earth. And what happens to the earth happens to humanity. That is why we, in our mornings, we are going to start up. And that's how it started, was we want to help the earth. We want to help Mother Nature. We want to connect with Mother Nature. We want to build a rapport with Mother Nature. Because if you help Mother Nature, you help humanity as well. As within, so without, right? Okay, so as the three-eye atlas is meeting the solar heart, being behind the moon, or closest place to the moon, people call it the perihelion. It magnifies the qualities of Leo, the sun's own sign. So this is what I wanted to read. Sovereignty, courage, creative expression, and heart-centered leadership. Now, how I always say Leo is so shiny, it's so bright, it's as unapologetically themselves. It is also freedom. It is also courage and creative expression. If you see around the world right now, and you see all the protests that are happening, people are, and the veils are thinning. People are seeing behind the illusion. They are saying, wait a second, that is going to come in direct conflict with my sovereignty and my expression, right? My ability to talk, my ability to be authentically myself, which is what is trying to be smushed down over the world. So as these codes come in and activate the divine union, and it's also bringing in a lot of Leo vibrations. So I feel that after this, we're going to see more of an uprising, more of people just, you don't have to uprise, you just have to say no, right? I know that if they try to bring digital ID, somebody sent a snapshot, or I saw a snapshot of a post on social media. I'm off my social media break, and I'll talk about that later, about how they're going onto the CRA, the Canadian CRA, and there was a ticky box saying that you have to consent to this digitalized kind of thing. I don't know, it said digital ID. I have to look at the post again. I took a picture of it, for you to be able to get this information. So not clicking that and just saying, you know what, I'll just make a phone call. I don't need this information online. That's not uprising. That's just the ability to say no. That is my type of my thing. I'm not going to go out there and hold signs or wreak havoc or, beat people up or anything like that. I'm just going to say, no, I don't consent. I'm just not going to do it. You can't make me. Right? I'm sure they're going to try, but they can't make me. Okay, so the sun's own sign of Leo, sovereignty, courage, creative expression, and heart-centered leadership. So it's going to feel like an ignition because the fire, right? And, but it's not just that, it's like a return of memory. This is what I was saying. In our thing today, we were talking about the divine masculine, and in our Patreon, when we went to Bree's Patreon, I'll post the link below so you guys can find it if you do want to join. We were talking about the divine masculine, and I have had a past life recollection where I was in Egypt, and I was a person that had warriors and a person that had their own space, a person royalty, I guess you could say. And my husband now, he was my personal warrior. And when I was explaining this to my friends, this thing, it was again, I feel a lot, right? So I would tell them that he was my warrior, and he was so fierce and so strong and so brave, but with me, he was so gentle. and so kind. So that is the divine masculine blueprint that is in our grids, that has been activated. That is like the perfect way of describing it. So fierce, so strong, so amazing, but with me, he was so gentle and so soft, right? So that was that. And so now with the sun, it's going to activate the divine union of the masculine and the feminine, and those codes are in there, but it's not good. It's not really a remembrance. It's like we are making our own way forward now. If you look in the past, even Lemuria, there was patriarchy and that took it over, right? So that wasn't working, and we are cycling over and over and over until we get this right. It's like that's how karma works, right? So we are now, these codes are being activated, and we are now going to step out of the box and create our new way of balance between the masculine and the feminine. It's not going to be from the past. Yes, we're doing Lemurian codes, but it's going to jump from that right into our new own way of being in tune with each other and being in teamwork with each other and completing one another, because alone we're weak, right? And that's why it happened. They took down the women first, and then they messed around. Well, I think they took down the guys first, really, and then they messed around with women, because when we're not like this, we are separated and we fall, right? So the solar feminine expresses light, intuition, and radiance. And we're going to do a meditation, and how the solar feminine came through was Seraphini, our white dragon, and how the masculine came through was the golden crimson dragon. So we're going to be working with those energies on the meditation on October 29th. And so in Lemuria, our ancestors lived by the rhythm of the sun and the sea, because they were very sea-bearing people. They knew creation as a dance between these two currents. And now the whale and the dolphin now carry those same water codes through the Earth's crystalline grids to reawaken them, while the dragons of the solar fire descend to merge with them. So it's a blending, it's a unity, right? It's the divine union awakening, the remembrance that harmony is the true source of power, exactly what I just said. When we are separated, we fall. And when we're together like this in harmony, love, compassion, we're strong. Okay. So that is why the sun and the three-eye atlas behind the sun is bringing on codes of the divine union, because the sun is not only masculine, it is also feminine. And that has been lost, and that is what came through. So on our meditation, we're going to activate this, and we are asked to remember a balanced heart. So we're going to come into our own heart, a balanced heart that shines without domination, loves without fear, and acts through compassion, right? So not being a pussy, but also doing it in love, compassion, and not domination. It is the activation of solar union, the intermarriage of heaven and sea, masculine and feminine, fire and water, all within the sacred solar heart. Solar heart, sun, solar heart, us, divine masculine, feminine. New paradigm, new way forward after remembering Lemuria. So then this is what I posted. I made a little event on Source Energy Collective Facebook group. If you do want to join us for this meditation, you can just do that through that. And so it says, join us in receiving these frequencies as they stream through the sun, the comet, and the living memory of Lemuria. Together we anchor the light of union on earth once more. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And that was the download that came through, was on October 29th. That's when we're going to activate these codes into the Earth's grid lines. And then on November 3rd, when the three-eye atlas is closest to Venus, we're going to fall in love again, right? Venus is love, harmony, balance, also justice, but we're going to focus on the love, harmony, and balance, and also financial. Yeah. So that's what's going to happen on November 3rd is we're not only going to be in union, but we're going to anchor it, be it strong, bring in that love for each other again, that romance, that beauty in relationship, right? It's going to be lovely. I see candles in my mind. I love candles. All right, so let's see if I have anything written down here that I can share with you guys. And I've already covered all that. So I hope you guys are going to join us. Okay, this is about Lemuria. Lemuria was a civilization that remembered its balance deeply. They lived in alignment with both solar fire spirit and oceanic water emotion. Wow. So I have a lot of fire, right? But I'm also really emotional and I feel a lot. And sometimes like that just gets so conflicting. But it's also that balance of your sovereignty, your courage, and knowing that we can use our voice in a very fiery, in a passionate way that is not violence, but it's also aligned with compassion and love. So it's that blending of, I always say, not being a pussy, but also doing the right thing, right? To bring it to the words of today. They saw creation not as masculine versus feminine, but as a dance of the two generating life. When we say the Lemurian codes of union are activating, we mean that the memory of this original harmony stored in the Earth's crystalline waters and in our DNA and in the grid lines, which we work so much with the grid lines, the white dragon and the whale and the dolphin rise as emissaries of Lemurian water and emotion, while the dragons and also the lioness, and that's another thing. Bree was saying, and we've been pulling so many cards with the lion, the strength card, right? So there is the lioness that was seen because Leo is lion, descend as carriers of the solar flame and purpose. So the dragons and the lions, and there was also an eagle in there. So why this is happening now? The sun is transmitting codes of Leo, leadership, self-expression, soul-centered sovereignty, and the earth is ready to receive this union. I love ChatGPT. I talk and I put in things that absolutely don't make like a lot of sense, and I can't actually like read it to you guys making a lot of sense. It would sound like I have English as a second language, and then it makes like this beautiful, like it words things so nicely. And that's how we use AI, right? I know that there's a lot of things around like AI is the transhuman way, and we have all the abilities within our heart, but AI is a tool. So if you use it as a tool, it's good to go. So this activation that we're going to do on October 29th at 11 a.m. PST and noon MST, we're going to, Jerry, Bree, and I are going to do this activation, and it will be a reunion of heaven and earth, of Lemuria and present, of solar and oceanic consciousness. So we reawaken all these lovely codes so we can chart our own way forward. So yeah, I hope I made sense to you guys, but I'm super excited, and like I'm not sure why so much of this like comet stuff is coming through. It's just so important. And then another really big day is the winter solstice, but we'll touch on that later, and it does involve the comets as well. And I think that's December 19th. So I hope you guys, I wanted to touch on the social media break and the fasting. I fasted for 3 days and I social media braked for 3 days with a little bit of the hiccups. Like I said, I was doing the best I could, but I did pretty good. And then now I am not. I am back on. It feels so much better. I'm not doom scrolling anymore, like for hours and hours, like wondering where the time went, watching all these like reels. And my appetite is great. But I will be again social media breaking and fasting on the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th to get ready for all these solar codes that are coming in for the divine union of the masculine and the feminine, remembering Lemuria so we can chart our way forward. So yeah, super excited and honored to walk this path with all of you. And if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, comment. We would absolutely love to hear from you guys. And if you want to join the meditation live, just go on Facebook, Source Energy Collective. All our links are below in the description. You can reach out to us in that way. The website is still in creation. We're having a lot of fun like creating it and focusing on the process and not the end result, right? Because we are in a 2-year right now and it's all about community, collaboration, and unity. So we will catch you, or I will catch you on the next video. Love you guys.